Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to hell.
As foldable phones continue to gain attention, one thing is still clear. Large book-style foldables remain the most popular choice. Their tablet-like design when opened and the ability to run multiple apps side by side have attracted a dedicated fan base. That's why major smartphone brands are still investing heavily in this category, and one of the latest arrivals is the Vivo X Fold 6. If you've watched videos about this phone, you've probably noticed that many creators focus on its four-way split screen feature. Personally, I don't think it's a gimmick, but I also don't see it as something everyone will use exactly the way Vivo demonstrates. I'm not going to run 4 AI apps at once or stream 4 sports matches simultaneously. Instead, I find it genuinely useful for practical tasks like planning trips, comparing prices across different shopping platforms, gathering information from several apps, or organizing my monthly budget. The overall experience is very polished. You can freely resize each of the 4 windows, rearrange the layout with a single tap, and if one app needs more room, switching into focus mode or atomic workbench is quick and seamless. Even so, I think the 4-way split screen is more of a nice extra feature than the main reason to buy this phone. It definitely offers a better multitasking experience than many competitors, but by itself, it wouldn't convince me to purchase the device. The reason I genuinely like the Vivo X Fold 6 comes down to several other strengths.
A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from Tech Maiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out our exciting tech content.
Starting with its design and build quality. Compared to other premium foldables that cost even more, it doesn't feel like it's making any compromises. Whether the phone is folded or fully opened, it feels comfortable in the hand. It may not be the absolute thinnest or lightest foldable available, but the difference is minimal in daily use. The rounded frame and hinge design also make it pleasant to hold for long periods. The hinge itself feels well refined, with smooth and even resistance throughout the opening and closing motion. It never feels too stiff or too loose, and it supports a stable hover position anywhere between roughly 30 and 150 degrees. The display is another area where the Vivo X Fold 6 impressed me. The inner display comes from Samsung, while the outer screen is supplied by BOE. I've always had some concerns about Samsung panels because of the strong color shifting I've seen in previous tests. Surprisingly, that's not the case here. The inner screen maintains excellent color accuracy, and even when viewed from an angle, brightness only drops slightly. I'm not sure whether this is thanks to improvements in Samsung's panel technology or because Vivo requested stricter quality standards for viewing angles, but the result is excellent. Even though the inner and outer displays come from different manufacturers, they look remarkably consistent. Whether you're using the phone folded or unfolded, the visual experience feels almost identical. Both displays share the same 424 ppi pixel density, so text, icons, and overall sharpness remain consistent across both screens. Vivo has done a good job tuning the display scaling, making everything look natural without noticeable differences between the two panels. In daily use, both screens are comfortable for long viewing sessions, and the eye protection features work well. It's obvious that Vivo invested significant effort into optimizing the display experience this time around. The only complaint I have is something we've seen on many Vivo phones before. The desktop icons use relatively soft colors, but the blue tones in the status bar, notification center, and App Store icons appear overly saturated, creating a slight inconsistency. Since we're talking about the display, it's also worth discussing how Vivo has optimized the large screen experience. As I mentioned earlier, most of the software improvements revolve around Atomic Workbench, which now introduces a 4-window multitasking system. Officially, these are called Serial Mode and Parallel Mode. Parallel mode allows 4 apps to stay open at once using different layouts, including 1 app on top with 3 below, 2 over 2, or 3 on top with 1 underneath. These layouts make excellent use of the square-shaped inner display, letting users customize different app combinations based on their own workflow. Vivo has also redesigned several system interfaces to better suit the larger screen. One of the biggest improvements is the document management page, which now features a split-view layout. Folder levels expand from left to right, while the selected file is displayed alongside a preview and detailed information, creating an experience that feels much closer to using a desktop computer. Other familiar foldable optimizations are here as well. Folding the phone halfway activates a laptop-style camera interface, with one half showing the live preview and the other displaying your photo gallery. When using horizontal split-screen mode, documents can even be dragged directly between windows. Many commonly used apps have also received layout optimizations for the larger display. I won't go through every example, but overall, it's worth remembering that the square aspect ratio of foldables makes third-party app optimization quite challenging. At this stage, many of the so-called large screen enhancements offered by foldable phones are really manufacturers doing their best to compensate for apps that still haven't been properly adapted. Some people are hesitant because the Vivo X Fold 6 is powered by the Dimensity 9500 Super Edition. However, there's really no need to worry. It's a much newer flagship processor and represents a clear upgrade over the older Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 that was used in the previous generation X Fold 5.
When it comes to overall performance, the Vivo X Fold 6 delivers the level of smoothness you'd expect from a modern foldable, and it's a noticeable improvement over the previous X Fold 5. I specifically say for a foldable because in general, book-style foldables still don't feel quite as fluid as traditional flagship smartphones. Compared to Vivo's own flagship candy bar phones though, the X Fold 6 does a great job of preserving the full range of system animations instead of cutting them back like many competing foldables do. That was actually a pleasant surprise. So far, the smoothness issues I've noticed mostly appear when the phone is unfolded. The first is the occasional minor frame drop in certain pages or fixed situations, like switching between different document folder layouts. Thankfully, this feels like something that could easily be improved with future software updates. The second issue appears when launching four-screen mode or entering the atomic workbench. Returning to the home screen after using these features for a while can also feel slightly slow, with the occasional small stutter. The good news is that once you're actually multitasking, switching between apps remains smooth and responsive. Considering how demanding this workload is, I think the performance is still quite acceptable, although I definitely like to see Vivo polish it further. When the phone is folded, the experience is much more straightforward. It behaves almost exactly like a regular flagship smartphone with no major performance concerns. System stability is also quite solid. Most of the bugs I encountered were simply visual glitches, especially after repeatedly opening and closing the device. They appeared randomly and never really affected normal use. Feature-wise, everything worked as expected, and throughout my testing, I didn't run into any serious functional issues. That said, I do have one complaint about Origin OS 6. The UI design and the way certain system settings are organized can be confusing. There are quite a few small inconsistencies that detail-oriented users, or anyone who's particular about interface design, will probably notice. I've documented all of them, and I'll cover those issues in a separate dedicated video. Photography is another major highlight of the Vivo X Fold 6. Starting with the hardware, it's equipped with a very capable triple camera system. The setup feels complete, and both the main camera and periscope telephoto lens offer specifications that are impressive for a foldable phone. In real-world use, the camera continues Vivo's familiar imaging style. Straight out of the camera, photos look attractive and easy to like. Compared to previous generations, though, the image processing feels more refined and much less artificial. The overall consistency is excellent, with very few disappointing shots, making it an ideal camera system for everyday users who simply want reliable results. At the same time, Vivo still offers plenty for photography enthusiasts. The camera software gives you access to a wide range of manual controls and creative adjustments. If you have some photography experience, there's a lot of room to fine-tune the final image. For example, when I first started using the phone, I felt the default sharpening was a little too aggressive, making zoomed-in details look less natural. After making a few manual adjustments, I was able to achieve results that better matched my preferences. The same applies to color, tone, and other image settings, allowing users to personalize the camera output. The telephoto camera also includes a dedicated zoom button for added convenience. One thing I wasn't completely happy with is the photo preview. Before taking the shot, the preview often looks softer than the actual final image, creating a noticeable difference between what you see on screen and what you eventually capture. I also think the camera interface could use some refinement. To me, there are simply too many entry points for different functions, making the layout feel a little complicated.
I believe Vivo could simplify the default shooting interface while keeping advanced features available in secondary or third-level menus. Even better, giving users the ability to customize the menu themselves would make the camera much easier to use. As for everything else I haven't talked about, including charging speed, battery life, and the various hardware features, the Vivo X Fold 6 performs well across the board. There aren't any major weaknesses, and overall, it's a very balanced foldable. Some people may feel this phone isn't especially exciting, and that's a fair opinion. After all, the Vivo X Fold 6 arrived a few months after its competitors, and on paper, its hardware doesn't really introduce any groundbreaking advantages. However, when you look at the complete package, its biggest strength becomes obvious. Despite offering a user experience that's very close to its rivals, it starts at just 7,999 yuan, which is roughly 887 pounds in the UK and $1,181 in the US. That's around 1,000 to 2,000 yuan less than many competing foldables. At a time when smartphone prices continue to rise across the industry, that's an incredibly attractive selling point, and honestly, one of the biggest reasons I like this device. Even if features like the atomic workbench, 4-screen mode, and extended telephoto capabilities didn't exist, I'd still have positive things to say about the Vivo X Fold 6. If you're thinking about buying your first foldable, you're working with a limited budget, or the base configuration with 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage is enough for your needs, and you don't have a strong preference for any particular brand, then the Vivo X Fold 6 would absolutely be my first recommendation. As for the higher storage and memory versions, their pricing tends to fluctuate quite a bit, so I'd suggest looking carefully at what each model offers and choosing the one that best matches your own needs before making a purchase. That's everything for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.